Hello, welcome back, little treasures. It is Tarot Tuesday. It is also election day. I just got back from casting my little vote. I know a lot of people feel frustrated with the voting system, and I completely understand. I'm still very pro organizing and community care and doing real work, but I do think you should vote. I think that is something that we can do. Um, Plus, if voting didn't matter completely, then these old white Republicans wouldn't be going to do it because they were definitely there. I'll tell you that. Like, they were there. So, yep, go make sure you vote. And if you want to hit on me for any sort of political stuff in the comments, feel free to do so. That is your right. I care about people, and unfortunately, that is political. So, not unfortunately, but more just that the fact that people don't understand that is frustrating. Like, you can't, and people, even with the whole spiritual stuff and with manifesting, we're not supposed to talk about things that are negative, and which is not the correct reality of manifestation and things like that. I think that's a very oversimplified version of it. That's very much The Secret, which is again a very simplified version of all that manifestation is and all that law of attraction and the law of assumption are. But you're very much supposed to acknowledge even negative emotions, like, okay, for myself in this past week, a lot of negative things have happened, going from smaller to larger. I lost my wallet, my ID, I had to change all of my cards. Then my phone broke, which meant that I couldn't do my door dashing. I couldn't, like, my phone was broken, and we all know how that is. I just suck in general. And then, which I also was, after I had lost my wallet, I was using like the Google Pay because at least I had my digital thing, but then I couldn't do that. So it was just like annoying. There was a death in the family, which I don't really want to talk about. So blah blah blah. Other just like little situations that had happened, not little, but situations that happened that, especially a past version of me would have really let derail me from all the positive things that are happening right now. But I mourned. I felt my feelings. I was upset, but I had to navigate it differently. I had to pause. I told you guys that I thought I was sick. I took a COVID test. It said that I was fine. I got better almost immediately, and even that felt like you need to stop. You need to slow down. Like, you're overdoing something right now. We need you to pause. And so that's how I chose to take it. Of course, those things still sucked. Like, they just did, but I did pause, I did reflect, and I did nurture my body, and a lot of things got rewarded. Like, my dad ended up having like a leftover phone that was better than the phone that I had. I still haven't found my wallet, but I don't necessarily need it because I got the new debit card came quicker than I expected, and blah blah blah, all this stuff where it's like, okay, things do work out in that sense. Those are fairly small, like those are kind of like, my grandma's still dead, but let's not talk about that. What's wrong? Yeah, sorry, I don't deal with certain emotions as well as I should, and I'm working on that. But my mom comes home today from California where the funeral was, and we'll be able to kind of do our own sort of ceremony for that. My grandma was an amazing woman who was also a Virgo. Yeah, and so let's get into it. Clear, concise messages here. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Oh, another weird thing that got lost. I noticed when I was looking through my Rider-Waite deck, I was like pulling cards. There were cards missing. And so I've kind of retired that deck. I might use it for like little clarification pulls because you can still use the cards that are available. But even that was kind of like, huh. You know what I mean? So, anyways, clear, concise message of spirit. I went through the rest of my decks, counted them up, did the whole. What does the collective need to know? Hi. Look at me figuring things out. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it this way. So we're gonna start off with the Two of Wands, which is, kind of planning, plotting. You're kind of at this point where you're like, all right, so I have this energy, I have this idea, but and it comes, so coming after the Ace of Wands is like that spark. Like you have this passion project, maybe you have like this new creative idea, and you just get lit up. With the Two of Wands, you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, which way do I go? Like you're really focused on the future. Uh, that's this one here, by the way. This is your overall for the message. Focus on the future. And you have this Empress energy here, which is very much like, they call it the pregnancy card. I think of it as pregnant with success. Like you are full of creative energy. You're nurturing yourself. You're nurturing others, but you're really nurturing this project as well. And there's a lot of pentacles in this spread. So you're really devoting time to whatever it is that you would like to see manifest and to see grow. This is the Six of Pentacles. It's very much a give and take relationship. This vine that's growing and blossoming. Like you have supporters on your side who also want to see you evolve. It could be also that since you have been helpful to other people in the past, or are continuing to be helpful, like people are wanting to pay that back. It's very 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 karmic, but involved in the world, like in the financially, it feels very karmic, like getting what you have invested in others, or someone investing in you. With the Four of Wands, that is that the four? It looked like the four, but so me the Roman numerals sometimes get like really thrown off. I just want to make sure, but that's like the Happy Home card. That's a very, like in the Rider-Waite deck, which is one of the cards I noticed was missing. But it's very like, it's the 1111 card, right? It's very balanced in the home. It's feeling very like content, having what you need. Yes, that is what it is. So I just wanted to make sure. It's like it's a very celebratory time, and a time of like completion. Like you are finally getting to be like proud of, not that you shouldn't always be proud of the process and wherever you are in life, but you're feeling very like, wow, I'm really doing that. And with the Four of Pentacles, of course, there is maybe like still a little bit of maybe resource guarding, because now that you finally are starting to have these blessings come towards you, especially if you haven't had them for a long time, you could feel like, on edge. Let me guard this. Like, watch out for the scarcity mindset. Watch out for, maybe it's keeping you from being as giving as you normally would be. And I think that's something we see a lot with people who come into wealth when we think about, the very wealthy, the obscenely wealthy. Because a lot of them talk about this hard work or this come up, which most of them did not do, but the new money people, the people who did, unfortunately, we do see how some of them kind of aren't always as giving as they could be. And I believe it's because of the scarcity mindset, because of what we program people to believe, that, oh, well, the rich didn't get rich by giving all their money away. Money is energy. Maybe that's a topic for another day. Let's not get into it. But also, comment below if you do want to get into it. And yeah, so don't get stuck in this mindset. You have what you need. You can do the things you want. Money will come back to you, especially if you're using it in the right way and if you're being intentional. And you have the Three of Cups here, so I think you need to be celebrating, especially with the Four of Wands. And there's just like a lot of happy energy here. We're followed up by the Wheel of Fortune, by the Knight of Cups. This is exciting energy, like you should be celebrating with people. If you want to spend money on someone, spend money on them. If you want to tell someone that you care about them, tell them. If you want to compliment people, you should be very generous with your love and attention right now, because I feel as though it's gonna come back to you, because especially with the Wheel of Fortune, that's a karma card, that's a completion card, that's like, things rolling over, very much like you will get what you give. So stay patient, stay excited, stay joyful. It's okay, again, like we talked about, feel your feelings. Sometimes things do just suck, and it's okay to admit that. But overall, for you, you've got this Nine of Cups on the way. So either it's already here for you, it could be this project that you're working on. But you're feeling so grateful right now. Like you're feeling so content. You could just be, someone tweeted this recently that they were like, sometimes we don't realize when we're living an answered prayer. And so maybe right now you're living an answered prayer. You're looking around and you're like, me 6 months ago, me 2 years ago, me 5 years ago would be so in awe of the life that we have right now. So maybe, thinking about that, looking at your life from that lens and being grateful, I think that's a really good theme, especially it's November. I don't fall into the whole, like Thanksgiving thing historically, but I do think gratitude is really important. That doesn't mean you shouldn't always want to evolve and that we can't, want things to be better and want more for ourselves, but it is really good, especially in a capitalistic society that wants us to always pursue more and spend more money. It's very good to pause and be like, what I have is beautiful and nurturing to my soul and something that I never expected to have. Seven of Pentacles here, me and the Roman numerals. I was looking at it like doing some mental math. Anyways, Seven of Pentacles, yeah, you're working hard. You're doing at times it could be tedious, or may feel tedious because especially if you're someone who is addicted to chaos or who has just like not always had like a super stable life, romantic life, career life, whatever, it may feel a little, the routine may feel kind of draining because it's like, oh, okay, so this is what life is. Just you do the same thing over and over again. It doesn't have to be that way, but it is really good to have a routine, as far as like your foundation, because then you can spice it up as you go. Enjoy the routine as it is, and keep doing this because you're working towards this greater goal, and good things are on its way. So even though things may feel a little boring sometimes, you've got a lot of good stuff on the way. I don't know why I just reshuffled something. Quick concise message, spirit. What else do you know? That was far too much, but thank you. I'll take a couple. We're gonna put them back. I'm gonna need you to be a little more concise, beloved. What else do they need to know? What else should they be aware of? We got the Knight of Cups. Ooh. It could be a romance coming towards you, but it could also just be you feeling a little more dreamy right now. You could be romanticizing your life, because the Knight of Cups is very like, he's very flirty and poetic and romantic and just he sees life through rose-colored lenses, which of course can be detrimental at times. But in this situation, I think that it's just being positive and having a joyful outlook, because with the Page of Wands, again, you have that spark. You're being a student to your own passion and you're wanting to really invest in yourself. I do see, unfortunately, here there are kind of like some limiting beliefs. And this is like I really love this depiction of the Nine of Swords because it's very intense. It's like rotting eyes. It's worms eating the eyes. It's like, it's pretty dark. And especially for this deck, which is overall very lively, I think that's a really good depiction of what it feels like sometimes. But you could have some lingering self-doubt, some gnawing thoughts. Maybe you're having difficulty sleeping, but it doesn't feel like something you're staying stuck in. It just feels like something that could come up, and that's just life, Um, not in a minimizing way, but it's okay to have anxiety. If you need to speak to someone, you definitely should. Journaling could be good as well, which I say that all the time. Journaling could be good, but journaling is good. It's a lot of fun. Even if, especially, I was reading something recently about how sometimes people have trouble with journaling because their privacy hasn't been respected in their life, and so it can be difficult to put their feelings out in that way, and I completely understand that. Other ways you could do it is write something out and rip it up. You don't have to keep everything, especially because sometimes those feelings are fleeting, and maybe you don't want to reflect on them, or you don't want someone to see it and think that it was, whatever. I have had some of those thoughts in the past, like anxious, paranoid, but rightfully paranoid. I don't want to diminish anything. feelings. So it's okay. Like, yeah, you could write a letter and burn it. You could rip it up. There are other ways to go about it. You don't have to keep those things. Anyways, with Six of Cups here, that is a very like nostalgic energy. It's like very much getting to your roots. You can see the roots are all lit up here. You're kind of like going back, and maybe that could be, this does feel very related to like home life and to your life and the way that you want to live your life. You're very much you're you're trying to be intentional right now. You're thinking about the grand scheme of things and how you want to exist here in this life. And you could be thinking of it also even in how you deal with community. I think sometimes we talk about these things as such a very individualistic um, reading, like it's for you, which is true. But the fact that we're pulling this for the collective means that there are other people who are feeling this way too. And again, we are in Saturn's return. There is a cultural shift going on. I think we all are looking back on how we were raised. I mean, we see it all the time on TikTok and online. Like, more people are talking about their inner child, are talking about wanting to heal and not wanting to put their future generations, whether you want to have kids or not, through the same things. Um, so, on a grander scale, I feel like we're all feeling this shift and we're all wanting to change our attitudes surrounding how we're living and wanting to be more, I think, wanting to be more joyful in the sense that if life were better, people could naturally be more joyful. Um, anyways, my thoughts are a little scattered with what I'm trying to say, but there is a message there. Because we have the Five of Pentacles, which is kind of feeling defeated. It is kind of feeling like there's no one around to help, but there is. There are people in your corner, and you do have to draw on that inner strength. We have the Strength card here to push through, but also it's okay to call upon other people to help you. Like, there's a reason why the number one resource when we talk about mental health care, or if I have been in a psychiatric ward before, grippy suck vacation, blah blah blah, multiple times. I've also, unfortunately, like in high school, been in trouble with the law, so I've also dealt with that side of things. And every single time they would be like, who are your friends? Like, who do you have to call? Like, who do you blah blah blah. Community care is really important. Having a support system is really important. I think that's why I'm getting all of this. Like, I don't know why this is coming through this way, but no, this is like a real thing. We do need to be talking more about like our connections to other humans. Um, Maybe you're feeling called to speak on it too, though. That could be part of this passion project. Maybe you're feeling drawn towards humanitarian work, the betterment of society. You could be an artist. You could be being pushed to, because you have the Nine of Wands here, which is about starting again. It's about feeling very heartbroken over the way that things have been, but continuing to this path of like enlightenment. You see that it's like leading up to the moon. With the Page of Swords, this is someone who is navigating how to communicate. This is someone who they typically are a writer, but of course, this can just be communicating in any sort. So someone who is very much like is a deep thinker and wanting to express some of these emotions. You also have the Devil card here. It can be, of course, addictions, but it can also just be restrictions. And in the sense that I feel drawn to talk about, I'm hearing it's more of societal limitations and programming. We have all been told to believe a lot of things, and I think a lot of people are waking up and realizing that they don't necessarily want to think that way, which again, you have a lot of cards that are going back into the roots of things, cycles, blah, blah, blah. Things are closing out, and people are realizing we don't have to be limited in this way. We don't have to, we have choices. We can make choices. Ace of Swords, you're having clarity. You're having these new ideas. There could be, it's almost like a puzzle piece, and you found it, like the picture made no sense before, and then you found that one, and it's like, oh, things are starting to come together, and now you're being able to piece it all together. So like just a lot of mental clarity. And then you have the Two of Cups, so you could have a little lovey-dovey situation happening, or it could just also be self-love. It can be love for, it's a very harmonious, like pouring into one another's cups. And like when it comes to like love in general, you should have enough self-love that it pours out. And when you're loving other people, it's from the excess, right? So with the Two of Cups, it's like this like beautiful flowy, it's got these roses, whatever, but it's just like surrounded by abundance. Knight of Pentacles, again, you are working hard, you are moving towards your dreams and taking action. And I think this may be one of the hardest things for any of us to do, especially when things feel frustrating or feel as difficult as they have been the past few years, and really just historically throughout life, like kind of always been, especially depending on your different intersections. But you're taking steps every single day, and that's one of the hardest things to do. You're waking up, you're getting out of bed, you're applying yourself in something, you know what I mean? And that is very difficult to do when depression is eating you alive, or when the world is on fire, or when XYZ. But because you are able to ground yourself and remember the things that it is that you love. What was that tweet? Someone said the key to being a good hater is to also be like a good lover, like to be able to notice things that you love about life, because then you can critique it properly, blah, 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 blah. That's kind of this energy too. Like you're very much like you're able to see joy, you're able to engage in like carefree activities and be celebratory and be loving, and you give to others, and you're a good person is the energy I'm getting here, which is, you know what I mean. But wow, there's a lot happening. It's like just they're trying to tell me a lot right now. I'm gonna have to keep pulling cards because like this one's gonna be a little bit longer. I hope it doesn't cut off because I notice my webcam's a little bit weird. Let me stop talking. Okay, yeah, you're moving towards it every single day though. You're not letting anything stop you. Ace of Wands, which is funny because we were talking about it earlier, but yeah, you've got this passion. Something has lit you up. And there are, you have the Hangman as well, so there is a little bit of like you have to surrender. It's not going to be something that happens overnight. But again, with you having the Knight of Pentacles, you're okay with that. You're not okay with it, but you're doing it. You understand. And with the Temperance card, it's let it go, let it flow. You know what I mean? There's a bit of a compromise to be made here. You're taking action, but you're also sometimes inaction is beneficial as well, and you're letting things happen. Again, surrender is a huge part of it. With the Queen of Swords, like you are wise, like you've got this also could be someone else in your life who's showing up and maybe making it. This could be like an older feminine figure who is giving you some guidance and who has lived through a lot and sort of being able to give you clarity about perspective. She can be a little cold, but she's still very caring. She's still very loving, but she is a little more piercing. What else, Spirit? Five of Wands. So there's a little bit of a scattered energy here, mental energy. It could just be because you have so many options and because there's so much that you want to do. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. With the King of Cups, though, someone in your life, or it could be you, you're feeling very emotionally strong, emotionally balanced. This is clarity on an emotional level, where maybe in the past you've been someone who just had so many feelings and you didn't know how to deal with them. But with the Ace of Cups, you're having these new feelings and new ideas. You have sparks all over the place, and you're really managing it well. Actually, you know what? I don't even want to pull more cards. That dropped too many anyways. I just feel like this is a very exciting time. You have a lot of new in your life. You have a lot of cycles being completed. You are trying to get clear about where it is that you're going. You're getting clear. You are getting clear. And good things are coming your way. Continue to be giving. Continue to be kind. Be kind to yourself. Yourself, nurture others. Yeah. That's where we're going to leave the message, because I don't want to like convoluted or anything. This is all good. Slay the day. You got this. Get out there and vote. Happy Tarot Tuesday, my little treasures, and take care of yourself. Drink some water. I love you. Bye.